Hello everybody, Caden here today with another episode of Minecraft Dinosaurs, and it's been a little bit since an episode, not since I've shown off the world, because if you guys missed it, we hit 4,000 subscribers recently, and I did a little live stream on the world to celebrate. And I think for the first time in a couple episodes, we're actually starting it inside the house, which is pretty weird because usually we started out by the lab or something, because I've got fossils to analyze, but we don't today because the last batch of fossils I got, we analyzed on stream, and I think we got another Diplocalus. I don't really remember. To be honest, I haven't checked my DNA storage in a little bit, but we're starting up here today mostly just because, well, it's about to be nighttime, so I kind of need to sleep. Where is my bed? It's in here. See, that's how that's how long it's been since I've really used the house. I don't really know what's in here. Anyway. As you guys saw in the title of today's episode, we're going to be hatching two Therizinosaurs into the park today because, well, the exhibit was almost done last episode. It was almost done on stream, and yeah, it's finished now. Now we're going to head the other direction real quick, and there's a dog barking in the background. Don't know if you guys can hear that. To show you, this is more for everyone who was on the live stream the other day. Yeah, the storage room. It's a bit more of a warehouse now. This was an idea suggested on the stream, basically because the old storage room was, well, it had two problems. The first one was it was off-center with the path. Like, it didn't join into the path correctly. So I didn't like that. And then also, the storage room was getting a bit too small. There wasn't really enough space for me to store everything I needed to store. So I've expanded it quite a lot, and we started this on stream, but I really kind of figured out what I wanted to do, and it's not finished yet. We still need to maybe do a roof. I don't even know. I was originally thinking of a second story, and maybe I'll still do that. I don't know. But yeah, I've added extra storage for dirt, stone, cobble, stone brick, like all the resources I know I'm gonna end up with tons of. And then I've just diversified storage, so we aren't just throwing random things in random chests. I also, off-screen, managed to get two new discs. Where are they? Strad and Far, I think, are the two new ones. Wait, no, is it Far? No, it's Chirp and Strad. I think those are the two new ones I got. Managed to kill a couple creepers with skeletons, so that was nice. Also, we have the mine. I'm kind of just going to show off stuff people may not have seen if you didn't watch if you either weren't there for the live stream or you didn't watch, I guess, the uploaded version of the live stream. But yeah, so that's what's happened over there. Another thing that happened, well, I've gotten the pathway, as you can see, all the way down there, which wasn't like that last episode. I believe it just came out to about here. So I've worked on that. I filled in some stone there. I'm gonna add a bit of grass on top of that later at some point, just to kind of make it so there's not a massive gap there. What else has happened since last episode? Oh, that is what's happened. Well, one, I guess I threw some more trees down here, but if we look over here, you'll see the Pachycephalosaurus. They have a brand new home over in this area, like I said I was gonna do. And yeah, I just finally decided to do it because I felt like they needed an exhibit, and the other one wasn't really working anymore because it was getting too small. I mean, this still isn't a massive exhibit. I mean, you might say it's still a bit small for 4 Pachycephalosaurs, but you know what? I'm a lot happier with how this thing looks and how it kind of feels than their previous exhibit, just because I think the other one was going to be so much smaller. It was going to make this one look really big, you know, by the end of it. But I also think this one has it has a different feel to it, and I quite like it. It also does serve really well, I think, as being a good little interim exhibit in between, you know, what all the rest that's gonna be like trees and stuff and the river, and then we have the trikes over there, Ankies over there, but there was like nothing here to really, like, I don't know, we just had this massive open space and I didn't really want it to just be scenery, so I thought it'd be nice if we had a little exhibit. And yeah, I think the Pachycephalosaurs fill that role quite well. I might move the I might make, or at least make the step up for the stairs right here and just flatten this down so we can throw more glass in so there's more viewing space for the Packies. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. I think it's an interesting little exhibit. We got a custom tree there, and then the megalith tree back in that corner. Anyway, so I don't know what was necessarily finished last episode and on stream. I think all this has been seen before, and I know most of this. Basically, since last episode and since the live stream, I need to get Tumbleweed out of here because she keeps like going in there and then she gets like stuck or something. So I kind of want to move Tumbleweed out of that area for a second. But if we head in here, we still have the skeleton, and I mean, I kind of want to leave it in here just for maybe this episode because I've gotten kind of used to seeing it here in all honesty. But I've been using this basically as a reference to see how big the Therizinosaurs get. So yeah, I figured 2 is probably more, that's the max we were going to put in here. Like I said, after the Triceratops episode, I kind of realized I don't just want to dump tons and tons of dinosaurs into each exhibit because, I don't know, I think it's cooler when we only have 1 or 2 for some reason. I don't know why. Anyway, since the last time you guys saw this exhibit, I've basically just finished up the fences. We put it in these little like grates here, let the river flow through, and as you can see, it now flows all the way down here, where it will continue to flow downwards until it goes out into that lake. So yeah, that's that. I'm pretty happy with that so far. We've got a couple of big trees in here, and that looks kind of crazy. I might take some of those trees out, but if you look over here and see where the exhibit is, I'm not actually sure how I'm going to integrate this, because I haven't been sure if I'm going to actually curve the path like it is curved there, or if I'm just going to switch it out for a grid, and then I'm not going to change the fence, I know, but like switch the pathway out for a grid formation, and just put like, I don't know, a lot of trees there or something, or maybe a small building will go in between the fence and that. I don't know, we'll see what happens. But this whole area between the Therizinosaurus fence and that walkway is probably all going to be filled in with trees. Not that the Therizinosaurs will even be able to get over here. I kind of realized that afterwards, is that, yeah, they won't really be able to get over the river, or they won't really be going over the rivers, so, you know, it's not really like you're going to see them from the Triceratops zone, which I think, I don't know, I like that idea. I like kind of the idea that, and this is also kind of what I wanted with the Pachycephalosaurs, is that the Therizinosaurus is kind of like this little closed-off exhibit. You're not going to see them. It's not like a super big exhibit where, you know, you can see through every single fence and stuff like the Stegosaurs or the Stegosaurus, Triceratops, Ankylosaurus, Brachiosaurus. You have like massive viewing areas for them, so you can see the animals in pretty much all parts of the exhibit. I kind of like that this one's a bit more like, the only real areas you can see it from are from there to about there, but then the rest of it's cut off from the pathway. So when they get to around like here, they're going to be a bit more difficult to see because I want to put more trees in and stuff. And I guess we will take the skeleton down. Mr. Therizinosaurus skeleton, you've been there for quite a while. Okay, so one thing I did want to mention in this episode, and I mentioned this in the live stream, so if you guys were there, you already know about this. But basically, this episode is pre-recorded, quote unquote. I mean, it's the first of the pre-recorded videos I'm going to do. So the Therizinosaurs, I'll ask for names, but they're not going to be named for a little while, and that's just because I've got school starting in about a week, and a lot of other crazy things happening, so I don't really have a lot. I won't have time in about a week's time, basically. I won't have time to record anymore for a little bit. Just until I can figure my schedule out, figure out what I'm going to do for the school year, how things are going to roll out, starting college and stuff. So I think I'm going to try and record at least 5, maybe more Dinos episodes. So if we're not getting a ton done each episode, you know why. Basically, I just want, what would I say, like 3 weeks, maybe 4, maybe like a month's worth of content, like the rest of August and then maybe the first 2 weeks of September. I want to have covered video-wise, so that way all I have to do is just, you know, throw the video up later, and, you know, that's it. I'm not recording or anything during those weeks. I mean, I'd probably be working on the world, so when, quote-unquote, live content, even though it isn't live, it's just, you know, recorded the same day it goes up, or the day before it goes up, you know, because then that content that won't resume probably until maybe towards the end of September. We'll see. 1, 2. Oh, look at them. They're so cute. I love the Therizinosaurus. It's a very adorable creature. And they're very small right now. They're very small. And the music. Does this work? I honestly don't remember. It's been a while since I've hatched something. Oh, it does work. That's great. I mean, the music's interesting, but I always prefer not to have it on. What is it with you guys and immediately trying to go to, like, the doors? Hello. So, yeah, oh, man, I can't wait for them to be bigger. Like, the babies are super adorable, but having full-grown Therizinosaurs is always really cool. I don't know. I've always thought they were really cool additions to the park. I'm trying to remember, actually. Well, I've only actually had one park with them, haven't I? Oh, yeah, but spruce planks under this, because I ran out. I almost prefer having wooden planks under these to just dirt. I like that a lot. That looks really cool. And I guess it makes it look more, like, manicured, I guess. Like, you know, I'm actually taking care of these, like, you know, they're intentional shrubbery versus, I guess, unintentional shrubbery. I don't know. I don't really know what I'm talking about at this point. But yeah, oh, that reminds me. Okay, so this is something that, again, probably you won't see for several episodes because it's not done yet and it's gonna take a little bit of time to finish it, but I have been working on a project of sorts that I think a lot of you guys would be interested in. And it's something I think I've talked about on live streams before and in videos. And that is, okay, and don't get me wrong here, I love fossils in archaeology. It's still my favorite dinosaur mod. I'm not going to play Jurassic Craft because I really don't like Jurassic Craft. But as much as I love fossils in archaeology, and I think it's a great mod, I am not the biggest fan of a lot of the new skins they gave the dinosaurs. And I know I've mentioned this before, like, I absolutely love this little walkway down here. And that's why I want to continue it, like, towards there, in the same kind of feel this has. Because what? If we walk all the way down here and look down, just, oh, it looks like so vibrant and so full of life, and I love how this looks. So I want to do, like, something over there that looks just as cool, and I hope I can do that because that'd be amazing. Where's a good example of it though? Oh yeah, so basically I'm not the biggest fan of the newer, very boring skins, and I know what, like, the trikes especially, they're probably more realistic if they look like this, but I feel like they're so dull. I don't know, they're just very boring in my opinion, and I'm not very interested in looking at them. The other one I'd say that's like this, I will say, surprisingly, the Ankylosaurus doesn't look very much different from the original versions. It's just the male's a bit darker and the female's a bit lighter, but other than that, they're basically the same. I think the other one I really noticed this with was Brachiosaurs, because these guys, I mean, they're cool and all. I mean, they're still massive and stuff, and that's really cool. But they're pretty boring. Like, they're like a German field gray with, like, a German dark camo gray skin, pale color, and then a red crest, and that's the most interesting thing about them. And I mean, nothing against the texture creators. I understand it's going for realism, so, you know, you kind of have to give up some of the more exciting colors for realism, which, again, I understand that, and I don't think it's wrong that they've done this. However, I have been going through like the texture files and stuff, and basically working on restoring my favorite old skins. So the old Brachiosaurus skin, which was the dark blue one with the black head and the, like, pale underbelly, I loved that one. That one is super cool. I want to bring that back. The green and brown Triceratopses, the orange Pachycephalosaurs, or the green ones at least. I loved the green ones as well. Those were really cool. What other dinosaurs? Green Mosasaurs, the old tan Tyrannosaurus Rex. Like, I want to bring back a lot of the really old dinosaur skins. Now, not necessarily all of them, and not necessarily the oldest versions of them. When I say this, I don't mean, like, we're going back to the original Velociraptor skin. Actually, out of all the dinosaurs I would change, I think I might leave the Velociraptors the same as they are, because, to be honest, I think the current Velociraptor texture is the best one it's ever had, mostly because it's super colorful and it's really interesting to look at. But things like Deinonychus, I would like to revert back to some of the early textures Deinonychus had. Why? Because I thought it looked cooler. So yeah, it's already in the works. I finished Brachiosaurus, Ceratosaurus, Compsognathus. I'm working on Stegosaurus and Triceratops right now, but what I'm thinking is probably by the time the pre-recorded episodes stop, it may not be completely done, but it'll be done to the point where I can show it where I'll feel comfortable showing it on camera. Because it's not just like simply porting the old textures over to the new models. Because believe it or not, some of them are pretty easy to do that for. Some of the models barely changed at all. Other ones changed quite a lot, like the T-Rex has changed significantly, so it's kind of harder to, do that. But it's also in some ways updating the textures, because a lot of the old textures are, well, dated. They don't look quite as nice. So it's updating them to look a lot nicer, like the modern textures do in terms of like variants of color shades and stuff. But also the fact I just simply need to work on, because others it's just really difficult to get the color patterns over. Oddly enough, though, I find it funny that the Stegosaurus, kind of stayed the same. I don't know. I mean, the female, I would almost like to replace with the green one, but I like the yellow on the males. I do think it looks interesting. We'll see what I end up doing with it. Anyway, I think we're gonna end today's episode off here. It wasn't a particularly long one, but again, whenever you have to pre-record a ton of videos, the episodes tend to be a bit shorter just because I gotta work on a faster pace in between episodes to get more things ready. So yeah, anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think, let me know what you guys want to call the Brachiosaurus, the Therizinosaurs. Leave some name suggestions. Once we get back to regular scheduled content, I'll put those names in the park. And yeah, let me know also what you guys think of the new textures idea, or old textures idea. Do you guys want to see me do that? Do you want me to, I don't know, make it an official texture pack so you guys can get it? I don't know. Anyway, thank you again for watching. Hope you've all enjoyed, and until next time, guys, see ya.